This was Seattle during the height of the lumber boom, a city shaped by its forests, its sawmills, and its relentless drive to turn nature's bounty into profit. How did a city so synonymous with lumberyards lose its place as a timber titan? And what traces of this forgotten era still remain in Seattle today? Stay tuned to find out as we uncover the history of Seattle's forgotten lumberyards. Seattle is the northernmost major city in the lower 48, the northwesternmost state in the lower 48, bordered by Canada to the north and the Pacific Ocean to the west. Seattle itself sits on a narrow piece of land nestled between the saltwater expanse of Puget Sound and the freshwater Lake Washington, giving it a unique strategic location for both transportation and commerce. In 1853, just 1 year after the settlement was established on Elliott Bay, Henry Yesler built Seattle's very first lumber mill. Yesler's mill not only supplied the growing towns around Puget Sound, but also sent lumber as far south as San Francisco, fueling the growth of yet another bustling port city. From its earliest days, Seattle began building its reputation as a major hub for the lumber industry. By the early 20th century, the forests of the Pacific Northwest were a vital resource for the nation. In fact, the coastal forests were home to about 2/3 of the timber in the U.S. as late as 1919. The timber industry not only shaped Seattle's economy, but also transformed its landscape, laying the groundwork for the city's rapid growth and establishing its early identity as a lumber capital. Washington had only just become a state in 1889, yet the lumber trade was already a cornerstone of its economy. By this time, about 1/3 of Washington's population was employed in the timber industry. By the mid-20th century, the widespread adaptation of the chainsaw drastically reduced the number of workers needed to fell trees. This technological shift meant fewer jobs in the field. Many workers who were displaced blamed environmental protections, but the reality was that automation had been silently eroding job opportunities for years. The Pacific Northwest timber industry also faced growing competition from other regions and countries. Furthermore, improved global transportation networks allowed lumber to be exported and imported across vast distances. This globalization of the wood trade made it hard for the Pacific Northwestern mills to compete, leading to closure and further job losses. With falling prices, shrinking profit margins, and rising global competition, even well-established companies struggled to adapt. For workers, this meant not only wage cuts, but also the loss of the stable, well-paying jobs that had once been a hallmark of the timber industry. It was the end of an era for an industry that had shaped the identity of the entire Pacific Northwest for over a century. Today, forest products hold the title of the third largest manufacturing industry in Washington. Logging jobs, though fewer than during the industry's peak, still exist and are set to reflect a blend of traditional methods as well as modern innovation. The state is the second largest producer of lumber in the U.S. and accounts for 25% of the nation's lumber exports.